Hey everyone, Connie here, and today we will be reviewing, that's right, reviewing Incredibles 2. Um, so this kind of came as a surprise to me. A friend invited me just this morning to go see Incredibles 2 with her, and yeah, it's like, this was something I had already wanted to see, of course, something I had been planning on seeing at some points, but I had no real, idea of when that was going to happen, and I honestly didn't think it would happen until probably it came out on DVD or whatnot. I didn't think I was going to be able to see it in theaters, but hey, that this can happen sometimes. She invites me out to see movies every now and again, whenever whenever it works out for her, I guess. And this is the most recent she wanted me to join her for. So yeah, right away, I'm going to mention that this review will be mostly spoiler free. I'm not going to get into any of the big plot details or whatnot. I might mention a character's name or something here and there, but that's pretty much about it. I'm not going to go into exactly where the movie goes or any again big plot details. Um, because I think that this movie is one that needs to be experienced. This is a movie that you need to see for yourself and not have it ruined for you. And for those of you who have seen it and would like to hear my full thoughts on it, message me. You can message me on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever. All of my social media links are in the description below. Um, but this will be, once again, as spoiler free as possible, with not counting just mentioning a few names here and there. So, what did I think, first of all? Just overall thoughts. What did I think of Incredibles 2? Well, it was incredible. It was a perfect sequel to a movie that is just infamous. Well, infamous is the wrong word, sorry. It's just exceptionally famous these days. And it was when it came out, too. It was really popular, really big, and ever since then, people have been wanting a sequel. People have been begging and pleading, where's the sequel? Where's Incredibles 2? When's it coming? And we've really had to wait so long for it, but it was well worth it. Now I'm going to go over this bit by bit, just talking again basic thoughts on each aspect of this movie, and we'll go from there. So first off, story. The story of Incredibles 2 kind of picks off right where the first one left off. If you remember, the first movie ended after they had defeated Syndrome. Well, sort of, he defeated himself because of his cape. That's why Edna says, no capes. But Syndrome was defeated and actually pretty brutally killed in the end. And at the end, we saw them. They were at a race that Dash was participating in when the Underminer appeared in the city and they had to go and fight him. That's pretty much where the movie kicks off. Not that big of a spoiler. I think everybody knew. I think that was shown in one of the trailers even. But the story takes a different route. As we see in the trailers, the movie focuses a lot more on Helen, or Elastigirl, over here. Helen in the first movie had more of a B plot, her and the kids. In this movie, she takes the center role with Bob, or Mr. Incredible, and the kids kind of taking the B plot. Not to say that the B plot is less important, it's very much important and very fun and interesting. But the A plot is where this movie, in my opinion, really shines. And it's one of the biggest reasons, one of the biggest reasons behind it is because it changes things up. The first movie was fantastic, and it did so many things right. It made sense to have Bob be the center of attention in it. It made sense for him to be the focus and for him to be going out and doing his superhero thing because of how much he missed it and all. While Helen was a lot more, what's the word for it? I don't want to say okay with where things were, but she could live with it. She could handle being a stay-at-home mother, being just a normal person. She wasn't as upset as Bob was about the powers. In this movie, as we see from the trailers and all, the roles are reversed. Helen is the focus now. She's the one going out and being super, while Bob has to take care of the kids. And I think this role reversal is very good because it gets to show the other side of things. I'm not just saying it because, oh, the girls in the spotlight now, it's progressive. I'm not just saying it because of that. I mean, it's true, but the real big reason it works so well is um, because of how it's the opposite of the first movie in that respect. Because we get to see things from Helen's perspective now, it gives us a fresh take on it. It gives us this new look, this new perspective on the world of supers. And we see that Helen wasn't as really, I guess you could, again, okay with things as we might have thought. The story goes off in talking about this villain who's named Screenslaver. Again, I won't go into the details of the spoilers, but how the story wraps around Helen having to combat Screenslaver and the just overall, like, I guess you could say the writing behind it, the specifics behind how it's written and how the story goes, where it progresses. Honestly, I liked it more than the first movie. The first movie had that entire thing about be careful about what you say to people, because they could end up becoming your worst enemy. The entire thing with Mr. Incredible basically creating his greatest enemy to that point. But this film, it does it differently, very different. Like, the villain is just completely differently handled, and I love it. I love the way it's tackled, and I love the way they go about it, because it comes across as having higher stakes and being a much bigger deal than in the first film. But let's talk about the characters. So, of course, our main cast, the Incredibles themselves, and Frozone, they're as fantastic as always. They're what you would expect them to be. It's like, yeah, there's not really much to talk about. Helen having the spotlight does allow her to showcase a different side of her, and Bob even shows a little bit of a different side to him as well. But overall, they're pretty much like, they're the characters you know and love by this point. What I want to talk about are some of the newer characters. And again, I'm not going to go into heavy details. I just want to mention a couple of them. There's this new group of heroes in the film. I won't mention like exactly where they fit in or how they come into play, but they're really interesting and they have some really cool powers. I won't like go into specifics, but my favorite is this character named Void, and she's actually, I think, one of my favorite characters from both movies put together. And that's saying something. There's these new characters who help kind of supplement the story. And this, I believe, was in the trailer. There's this one character who's trying to bring superheroes back into the limelight, who's trying to basically make them legal again. And he's voiced by Bob Odenkirk, you might know as Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And he's fantastic in the role. It's like, you forget, like, almost right away that it's him. But there's some just fantastic character moments with him, with some of the other new characters, and some of the characters that even return that have, again, more supplementary roles, such as the always amazing Edna Mode, and the superhero social worker, I want to call him. You know, the guy in the first movie who was helping the Pars relocate after, like, Bob messed things up by attacking his boss. Yeah, and there's some other aspects of the film that really just work because of the characters and their interactions with each other, the way they're written and how they're integrated into the story. It just really feels right. The voice acting, amazing. I mean, not really much to say there. All the voice actors did a phenomenal job. There's even this one cameo by Usher. It's really extremely short. But Usher, you know, the music star, he has this one short cameo and it's great. The art and animation is one thing I think improved the least over the first movie, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually it's amazing art and animation, but it doesn't seem like it's that much better than the first film. Like, hear me out. What I'm saying is, it's great. It's phenomenally done, but for however many years it's been, I think it's been like almost 14 years or something like that. It doesn't feel like the arts and animation improved that much in that amount of time. You know what I'm saying? It's still phenomenally done. It still looks amazing, but it just doesn't feel as improved as I hoped and thought it would. Feel. um, the soundtrack is great. Every piece of music fits every scene. And yeah, just overall, I really loved this movie, and it's definitely one I want to see again. Tell me in the comments below, though, what you thought of Incredibles 2. And remember, keep the comments spoiler-free as well. And as I said before, if you want to know any specific thoughts on certain things, if you have seen the movie, just message me. Facebook, Twitter, social media like that. You can even probably message me here if you want specific thoughts. All of the links for social media is in the description below. And in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in today. And for now, I'm Connie Royal, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.